what now I'm running this. You don't wanna follow me, I'm up in front of this. Iron in the trouble with the troops, trying to get it what it does. Battling and I never lose, we some motherfucking warriors.
Yo, what is going on? It's your boy Manthus, and before this video starts, I know it has been just a little bit since I've uploaded a video. The main reason I haven't been uploading is because a few months ago I cracked my iPad really badly, and it's really hard for me to play mobile games without getting lots of ghost touch or my screen acting up really bad. I'm also broke as hell, so I really can't afford to get a new iPad or get this one fixed, so I don't know when I'll be getting a new one. However, this video today is going to be an example of the types of videos I still can do easily, which is an analysis behind how Seminal came back from the 12-0 in the finals of Embers of Victory. While gameplay videos and streams are pretty much off the table for me, I can still do these informative / tutorial type videos. If you'd like for me to continue these types of videos, let me know in the comments. Anyways, enough with this intro stuff and let's hop into this video. I also would like to clarify real quick that in this tournament, Seminal won versus Elevate, but after the tournament, the Seminal roster got picked up by Elevate, and I guess the Elevate roster got picked up by Seminal. They basically just swapped names. I don't know, COPS players are just weird, they always be changing their team names, but to keep it simple, I'm just going to be referring to these teams based on what team they were representing at the time of this game, and also, you know, whatever team is showed on the stream from the tournament, whatever team they were actually representing at that time, just to make it nice and clear for you guys. Now, I'm not going to be talking too much about the half where Elevate got 12 rounds because obviously, yes, both teams played really well, but really what I want to focus on is the comeback because I feel like that's the more exciting aspect, you know. Watching a team get steamrolled 12-0 is not as entertaining for me to talk about as it is watching that team have to come back mentally from that 12-0 loss and making that incredible comeback. So I'm going to be focusing most of the clips I'm talking about. They're basically all going to be from the half where Seminal is on Coalition, and we're going to be talking about how Elevate, you know, sort of kept making the mistakes about why they couldn't just close it out with that one round. So basically, the main reason Seminal actually picked up this pistol round is because Rep was kind of just hiding out on site, not really peeking too much. You can see he's player number 5 right now, and they all kind of thought that they were just surrounding this player Shinx over here, and because of that, he was able to push up behind them and get a 3k to close out the round. As you can see right there, he just swooped in from behind them. He was able to get a 3k, so it's a nice little tactical play by Rep there to sort of bait his team to guarantee the round, and you'll see that a lot. Sometimes baiting is tactical, and it's good if you're doing it right and if your teammates approve of it. So there is such thing as tactical baiting, or as like, you know, playing for trades, and they definitely did that very well in that pistol round. There's not much to say about this following round here, as Elevate had to take an eco and they kind of just lost it quickly by pushing ramp. Fast forwarding to this 2-12 scoreline, there's not much to say. They were in a post-lane situation 2 versus 2. Shinx didn't have the gun and he played this right by peeking first. He was able to die and get information, and because of that, Rap was able to easily get a refrag, and he also just played this really well by reading Trident well and knowing he was going to peek out there, and that's why he was able to just clutch that up. 3 HP by the way, so it was very close. Literally 3 damage away from Elevate winning the entire round right there, like just winning that map completely. But yeah, it was a nice clutch, just a little 1v2 by Seminal there. Alright, so this next round is when Elevate was next on a full buy, and it was really questionable for me because they were clearly trying to push ramp, but the smoke fades and we can see they kind of just tried to brute force the push and go for it, and because of that, Agonize, you can see, was able to get a nice and easy 2k from that reception area. They didn't bother to go for the resmoke, which confuses me because Pretzel did have a smoke, but he opted to just go for the push instead of resmoking that angle, and it basically just let Seminal capitalize off of that right there. And as you can see, Agonize, he was also able to get a 3rd right there. I mean, their push completely got shut down simply because they did not resmoke that. You can see that that player was about to die in the beginning there, and then just because they didn't smoke it off, he was able to just drop him. You'll start to see Elevate go for this strat over and over again, where they'll try to go for map control here, and they'll specifically try to push ramp. As you can see, some of these players are getting ready to push up towards ramp. They're nading it out, flashing it, and they're able to sort of like stall out Seminal and force them to back up to site. The problem is, once they push up here, they don't really like have much, like, they don't really do anything once they actually push up into this little corner of the map. They kind of just sit here and wait. They're kind of scared to peek. They don't really like push fast while there's sort of like a disruption behind the enemy forces. They kind of just let Seminal regroup and reposition, and I think that's a mistake you'll see Elevate make a lot during this game. This round right here is really important. I just want you guys to remember how Shanks gets this kill. He's hiding out in the smoke, and because of that, he's able to kill Nezelo as he just runs past him. Again, I mean, I guess he just didn't think that Shanks was going to be hiding there. It was a nice play by him, obviously. I just want y'all to remember how he got that kill in the future. In this round, the score is 8-12. Once again, Nezelo, you can see him in the back over there getting ready to flash his team in, and the flashes come out. And once again, it's like so much, map control is sort of forced by Elevate. They're able to make Seminal back up. But the problem is, they don't really have much that they can do. They kind of just sit around by reception. And the problem is that they take way too long to make a move after they've gotten control of that. They let Seminal completely regroup and completely know, like, okay, they're going for a hard ramp push. They give Seminal all the time in the world to sort of reposition and decide what they want to do. Like, kind of just sitting here and hanging out by reception is not what you should do, especially if you go for that. And they didn't even get a pick, so that's the other thing that confuses me, is why they really slowed it down. But yeah, obviously this round did not end up going in their favor. We're about to see a repeat of what happened 2 rounds ago. Once again, Elevate getting ready to go for this ramp push, and the Seminal players are posted up ready to, see if they can stop this ramp push. And they're going to get flashed out, and they're going to get forced to back up all the way. It's about to happen. There it is. They're just going to eat the flashes fully. They have to run back. And then you're going to see this here, Elevate. They push up. They know they just ran back. And then Pretzel, he kind of just waits. They wait. They don't really do anything. Tryon still has a full kit and he's with them. And he's not using any of his utility for anything here. They're not smoking or flashing into this push. They're just kind of dry peeking all these players. And they're just able to get a 3K, easily shut them down. They do respond with a couple kills back. But I mean, now Elevate, they no longer have the man advantage. And I mean, I don't know. It's just not going well for them. As you can see clearly, they just don't have a good strat for what to do beyond that push. Alright, so I got a quick question for you guys. Do you remember that round where I told you to pay attention to how Shanks got that kill? Well, the problem is that I don't think they communicated. I think it was Nezelo. He did not communicate to watch out for that, or he didn't call out to his team. Because of this, look, all 5 players have their backs turned to Shanks, and because of that, he's able to get the easiest 3K of his life and still back out alive. He didn't even get traded out. Like, he just got a 3K, shut down that push while it was 11-12. Pretzel had a really nice shot here, as you guys just saw, but it wasn't going to matter because they're still going to end up losing this round, and it's going to go to a guaranteed match point. It's going to be 12-12 after this round because Elevate's unable to pick it up. There's not really too much to say about this final round. Elevate had to force up. They were kind of broke. As you can see, most of them don't even have utility, and on top of that, they tried to go for a B push, which was, I would say, a pretty huge mistake because you really need a lot of smokes, especially on B, to make sure you can smoke off CT and all those back angles. And they really tried to brute force it. As you can see, I mean, Nezelo just running in with his knife, not even the smoke up yet, and he's just trying to run in. But yeah, that push was really sloppy, and they just got shut down. Seminal ended up winning 13-12. Greatest comeback ever. That's all I can say. I don't know what to say. I mean, they had a really great comeback. It was really fun, by the way, to cast this game live. I don't know if you guys know that, but I was one of the shoutcasters for this game alongside Crosby. And it was a really fun and entertaining comeback for me, just to be able to witness it. It was really awesome. So now that you guys have seen how the comeback happened, I want to talk quickly about why in this map 25 out of the 25 rounds all went to the coalition side. And I guess I should also talk about how teams should go about playing this map in the future. So first of all, Store is an extremely coalition-sided map just based on the layout. Like, the Breach players are always so separated when it comes to doing a split push if they ever decide to do that, because there's just such a long rotation they have to do if they decide to regroup. The only ways you can rotate are mid or spawn, but most of the time, if you don't have a smoke, you have to deal with that sniper usually holding down the mid rotation from the B site. And so because of that, most teams usually just opt to rotate through spawn, which can take a really long time. Maybe it's like 25 or 30 seconds if you have to rotate from sort of the back of A long all the way up to pool. That could probably take you like a solid 25-30 seconds, and by then usually your opponents will know you're rotating. Not to mention the fact that if you're playing on B site, you can usually sound if players are running up pool, so it's really hard for Seminal players to go for a fast push without sort of being spotted out. And if they go for a slow push, it could just take them so long because of the rotations if they do decide they have to rotate or something like that. And that's the other thing about this map, is that for Coalition side, they have a really short rotation span, you know, like they basically, like their maximum rotation is probably like 7 or 8 seconds. And so they're able to rotate really quickly, and because they can rotate so quickly, see a lot of teams, you know, it's easy for them to hold from the Coalition spawn. Once they sort of, you know, get pressure applied in, they could just back up to their spawn and wait. And that is the problem with all these players, is that they don't really have a strat when it comes to pushing beyond the Coalition spawn, alright? They have utility to sort of take the map control and to force them back into their spawn, but once these Coalition players are sort of dealing with a heavier stack in the back, they don't really have too much utility to help them push through, and because of that they often get scared and they don't really want to push all the time as a team. Now, something we saw a lot in this tournament was players pushing up and trying to take control of ramp or pool. But the problem is, once they're able to push up, the Coalition players just fell back to site and they couldn't do anything beyond this point. Now, I just want you guys to imagine how many better chances either of these teams would have had if they would have just placed a smoke right here and a flash right here to hit this crossfire. Because these teams were so afraid to push into this crossfire. If they literally would have just, you know, used their flashes or their nades to clear these corners, then it would have been so easy for them. Part of the problem with this is being disciplined with your utility. You really only need one smoke and 1 or 2 flashes to push up and take some map control when it comes to ramp or pool. But the problem is, you usually see a lot more util dumping than what actually needs to happen. And so because of this, the players will waste way too much util just trying to, you know, take one part of the map, and then they don't have anything when they have to keep advancing further. And so because they need to coordinate well who throws what utility so you guys don't all util dump, many teams struggle with actually being able to be successful on this map due to the fact that their actual teamwork skills are straight up trash. I'm not saying these teams aren't still skilled, but as Michael Jordan once said, talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships. Thank you so much for watching this video about the greatest comeback in competitive Critical Ops history. If you enjoy these types of videos, let me know in the comments if you want to see more videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.